Midnight here, and I'm gonna read my story, Shadow's Revenge. Well, oh, I forgot it was Shadow's Return, but my bad. Okay, it was a peaceful day in the Hero Kingdom. Midnight was sleeping peacefully in her bed, snoring away. Without a warning, Ruby opened the door super fast. "Wake up!" said Ruby. Midnight let out a shriek of fright and fell off her bed. "Ruby, don't do that!" said Midnight as she stood up and glared at Ruby. "It's time to get up now, sis," said Ruby as she walked out of Midnight's room. Midnight stood up, back on her feet, and was ready to start the day. The kingdom has been getting attacked by different kinds of monsters for a while. Our heroes made a schedule of when they could fight a monster whenever they attacked the kingdom. It was Midnight's turn to fight the monster so they would hurt the people of the kingdom. Sam was trying to figure out where the monsters came from and why they were attacking for no reason. Hold on one second. As Midnight walked out of the door and saw Chris cooking some food and Lucy reading a book. "Morning! How are you today?" asked Midnight with a smile on her face. "Morning, little sis. We'll do some training later," said Lucy as she chuckled at Midnight's unhappy expression. "Why do I need to be trained? Besides, I can kick butt," said Midnight as she punched the air and kicked around and making a pot almost fall. This is an important task, Midnight, and you need to be careful of these monsters," said Chris as he patted Midnight on the head. "You can sometimes become reckless," said Lucy. "That's true. I can see what you mean now," said Midnight. Little did they know that a bat was spying on them and flew back to the Dark Castle. This is where it gets good, and when Frank comes in. A dark wizard named Frank stood by next to his creation, Panax. Isn't it weird I don't even know how to pronounce this name? That's weird. "What is the plan, boss?" asked Panax. This is embarrassing. "I'm glad you asked, my dear son," said Frank with a chuckle. Frank led Panaxis to a room where a young girl who looked the same as Midnight, as if she were a twin. "I used a forbidden spell and put my daughter's soul in my new creation. Who would take over at Midnight?" said Frank as his face darkened. You use a forbidden spell? That's awesome!" said Panax asked as he let out an evil laugh. "Wake up, my creation, and find Midnight!" yelled Frank. There was an awkward silence, and Frank cleared his throat, feeling embarrassed that nothing happened. "Let's get some lunch and try again later," said Panax. "Okay, let's get some food now," said Frank as went out of the lab, leaving Shadow alone. Shadow opened her red eyes and looked at her new feature before having an evil smile on her face. "As you wish, father," said Shadow as she flew off to find the Hero Kingdom to take control of Midnight. Meanwhile, with Lucy and Midnight, who was training, Lucy let out a blast of fire at Midnight, who took her shield to block it and teleported behind to kick her down. Lucy fell to the ground, was impressed by Midnight's strength. "Good job, little sis," said Lucy as she stood back on her feet and hid for her little sister. "Thanks, big sis. I can't wait to fight those meanie monsters," said Midnight. "Yep, here's a gift for you," said Lucy as she handed a sword to Midnight, who was shocked. "Lucy, you're giving me your sword, but you need this for mission and stuff," said Midnight. "Don't worry about it. I have stronger ones in my room," said Lucy as she smiled at Midnight's sparkling eyes. Thanks, big sis. I won't let you down at all," said Midnight as she put the sword away before skipping heavily to the door. Good luck, little sis," said Lucy, who slowly took out a guarding whistle. "Heh, I told you she's protective," and blew at two wolves named Kim and Annie. appeared in front of Lucy. What can I do for you, Lucy? Said Kim as she shoved Anna, who was in front of her. The two wolves started fighting with each other, which made Lucy annoyed and angry. Stop it! Yelled Lucy in anger that shook the castle. The two wolves immediately stopped and were shaken in fear. Can you watch over Midnight, please? Said Lucy. Of course. We won't let anything bad happen to her, said Anne as she accidentally stepped on Annie's paw, which made her yelp and growl at Kim, who stuck out her tongue. Lucy let out a groan as she watched her two wolf guardians fight again and walk out the door. Okay, I need to catch my breath for a second. Whew. Alright. Okay. Midnight was looking around to see if there were any monster that could attack any moment. Come out, monster, said Midnight as she held the sword tight in her hand. Midnight heard a noise and let out a yelp in fright before turning around to see another person that looked exactly like herself. What the? Mumbled Midnight as she felt fear rise in her body. What's the matter, Midnight? Asked Shadow as she walked closer to Midnight, who backed away in fear. You look afraid, said Shadow as she grinned. Midnight tried to run away, but Shadow used her darkness to trap Midnight and went inside her body. Midnight fell to the ground and passed out. Her left eye became dark red. Uh-oh. Midnight, meanwhile, with Lucy, who was worried that Midnight hasn't been back yet. Don't worry, Lucy, said Ruby. Don't worry, Lucy. I need to worry about her because she hasn't been back yet, said Lucy as she started shaking Ruby. The door opened to reveal Sam, who was carrying Midnight with Zia, who had a worried look on her face. Midnight! cried Lucy as she rushed to hold her passed out little sister. I found her passed out when I was walking through the kingdom with Zia, said Sam with a worried look. Will she be okay? Asked Ruby. Well, I have a bad feeling that something evil is inside of her soul, said Sam. What do you mean, Sam? Asked Lucy. It's kind of hard to explain, but I will study her for a bit to see if there's a spirit inside of her, said Sam. Thank you, Sam, said Lucy with a smile. Sam felt his face heat up and let out a chuckle. No problem, Lucy, said Sam. See, do you think I will not include Sam X Lucy in this? Papa has a crush on Lucy, said Zia with a happy squeal. Midnight suddenly opened her eyes, which caught everyone's attention. Sis, are you alright? As she gave her little sister a hug. What happened? Asked Midnight as she felt a painful headache. You passed out while patrolling the Hero Kingdom, said Sam. Can I sleep now? Asked Midnight as she stood up and walked to her room. Our four heroes gave each other a worried look at the sudden change in Midnight. Maybe she's feeling ill, asked Ruby, I mean. I don't think she's feeling ill. She's hiding something from us, said Lucy. Midnight was staring at herself in the mirror, whispering heavily, Oh, Midnight, come out and hang out with me, said Shadow, who appeared behind Midnight. Midnight tried her best to not let Shadow take control of her, but it was too hard for her to break free. But it was too late for Midnight, who had an evil smile on her face. It feels good to take control of someone, said Shadow as she walked to Midnight's room. In Midnight's body, it was getting late. Ruby and Lucy and Zia were asleep, except for Sam, who was studying the weird present he had when he was carrying Midnight back to the castle. If you keep stressing like that, you end up like Chris, chuckled Ruby. I thought you were sleeping, said Sam as he turned around to see his friend. Well, I went to get a glass of water until I noticed that you were still awake, said Ruby. I can't sleep right now. Besides, I need to find out what's wrong with Midnight, said Sam before he let out a yawn. You need to rest now, Midnight will be fine, hopefully, said Ruby. Oh, I hope you're right. Okay, hope you're right, said Sam. As our two heroes went to bed, little did they know that Midnight isn't alright and not herself. I'm coming for you, big brother, said Shadow in a cheerful voice. Ooh, who? I suggest you make any theories in the comments below. The next day, Chris was hunting with his pack in the Wolf Valley. Yes, I include that. Everything was going smoothly until Chris heard a voice that sounded like her sister, who was killed by Frank. Sister? And oh, by the way, just a heads up, Shadow's return and revenge is connected to Healing His Cold Hearts, like the reboot of it. So I suggest you watch that first, and then you'll be able to kind of understand it. But you don't really need to. Sister? Asked Chris as he looked around in confusion. This creeped him out, but he continued his hunt with his pack. Hey, Alpha, I found a deer around here, called one of the wolves in the group. Good job, Dan, said Chris as he patted Dan on the head, which is a symbol of good luck. Come follow me, said Dan as he disappeared into the woods. Chris led the pack to follow Dan and to find out something horrifying. Dan was brutally murdered, and his face had a look of horror as if he saw something horrifying. I don't think it's safe here, Alpha, said one of the wolves. Chris nodded and led his pack safely back to the valley and let out a howl to respect Dan's spirit. Oh, this is what I've been updating. After Chris went back to the castle, he saw Midnight looking at him. This gave him a bad feeling, since normally Midnight would try to tackle Chris to become the next Alpha, which she will always lose at. Hey, Midnight, are you feeling better? Asked Chris as he waved at Midnight. There was no answer, which made Chris feel uncomfortable and walk towards Midnight. Don't you miss me, brother? Asked Midnight as her eyes glowed red. Oh, no. No. Mumbled Chris as he stepped back. He wanted to forget about this and the past, but she's back. Who is now hunting him for the rest of his life. Why are you controlling Midnight, Shadow? Growled Chris. Oh, so you do remember me, smiled Shadow. I won't let you control my friend, roared Chris as his eye turned red. Oh, you always try to be brave, but deep down you're actually afraid, little boy, said Shadow as he tried to take control of Chris, but couldn't do it. No, I won't let you take control of me or Midnight, yelled Chris as he ran towards Midnight's last Shadow, who was being to dodge the attack. If you hurt me, then you will hurt Midnight, so don't try to attack me because it's pointless, said Shadow as he dodged the attack. It was true that one hit on Shadow could cost Midnight's life, but Chris isn't gonna risk this. He doesn't want to hurt Midnight because she's in her mind, scared and alone with no one to help her. What you gonna do, Alpha? Asked Shadow. Chris took out a smoke bomb and drew it at Shadow, who yelped in alarm before realizing Chris has retreated. The brave Alpha is somehow a coward. But he's going to pay for what he has done, said Shadow as she disappeared it. Chris went into Midnight's lab where the rest of our heroes were. Guys! cried Chris. What's wrong, Chris? Asked Luz. I know who's taking control of Midnight. To be continued. Nah, I'm just kidding. It ain't gonna be to be continued. I just wanted to see what your reaction will be. So, update tomorrow and read to you. Nighties. See you later. Bye. Nah.